Hello, my lovely soul seekers, and welcome to Soulwise with me, Semele Xerri. And it's that time again when I'm going to share my guidance for the upcoming lunar month. Before I get into that, I did realize that some people were a bit confused about when I share the guidance, I mentioned 2 months, and someone actually asked me, is this the guidance for the next 2 months? So for example, this time round, it's the lunar month that starts on the 8th and it runs through to the next lunar new moon in May. And someone was asking me about this because they thought that I was actually giving guidance for 2 months, the whole of April and the whole of May, for example. And that's not how it works at all. So what I am doing with this guidance is I'm reverting to our ancestors' way of following the month, and the month is a name that comes from the word moon. It's named after it, but it follows the cycle of the moon. So my guidance begins on each new moon and it covers the approximate 4 weeks until the next new moon that occurs. The calendar that we have is a solar calendar, and it was invented by humanity really to make things a little more practical, and so that the months all had approximately the same number of days, and just to make it all a bit more neat and tidy and logical, because sometimes there might be 13 lunar months in a year, whereas obviously in our solar calendar we always have 12 months in a year. So I wanted to give guidance not according to solar months, but going back to our ancestors' way, to the deeply feminine, intuitive way of following the natural cycle of the moon. As you know, I'm very much into following the cycles, the universal cycles, and those of the beautiful planet Earth that we live on. So that's what this is about. So having given you that background, just in case you didn't know, this is my spiritual guidance for April-May of this year, and it covers the lunar month beginning with the Aries new moon, which happens at 7:21 p.m. on April the 8th, and that's in the UK, which is where I live. I'm calling this spiritual guidance Change for Life. The tarot card that I've drawn for this lunar month is from the Thoth Tarot, the Two of Discs. We've had a long run of major arcana cards, all but one over the last 6 lunar months. So it's good to see a minor arcana card appearing this time, even if it's one that continues the transformational theme of change. That's not too surprising when this month kicks off with a total eclipse of the sun, also at the new moon, which is always a harbinger of dramatic endings and beginnings that will impact what's to come for some time. As a disc card, the change is going to impact physical resources of all kinds for you. So those are health, money, work, and your environment. So be prepared to have to do a bit of juggling in these areas. There could be financial ups and downs, unexpected happenings in the workplace, projects not working out quite how you expected them to, and some sudden health issues perhaps that need addressing. Discs literally represent the earth and the land too. Globally, I expect to see earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, some dramatic seismic activity. Shifts and developments in financial systems and money management are likely and might cause a wobble, but only temporarily. The same applies to farming and food production, and perhaps political instability too, as land can mean an individual nation, as in land of our fathers and that kind of thing. Many of you will have shake-ups in your personal lives, as physical resources are so central to the human experience. I know change can feel chaotic, unexpected and shocking at times, but remember that it also brings innovation, adventure and freedom. It has a harmony to it because change is life. Without change, nothing could ever renew or evolve or improve. Things will be unpredictable and volatile, so remain centered in whatever way works for you. Don't get thrown off balance. If you remain calm, you can stay focused and attentive and respond appropriately and adapt quickly if and where necessary. That crown on the serpent's head reminds you of your personal authority to co-create and manage your own life in partnership with your soul and through your choices. Let's look more closely at that serpent in the form of a figure 8 on this card. It's an ancient sign of infinity, called the Ouroboros, the serpent that eats its own tail. It's based on the knowledge that life eats itself to stay alive. Chaos consumes order, which causes a reorganization of energy in a flowing transformation. I always think of the Ouroboros when I see video or diagrams of the tectonic plate movements that shape our land masses. And I'll put a link to the video that explains that and shows you that in action in the description if you're watching the video on YouTube or if you're listening to the podcast on Spotify. The yin-yang symbol suggests that at times like these, it's helpful to be able to see both sides of any situation and event, to hold the paradox of seeming opposites, rather than viewing one as wholly right and positive, and one as wholly wrong and negative. When two opposing poles unite and interchange energy, balance is created and a healthy middle path opens up. So it's good to ask yourself this month, where am I being one-sided in the way I'm looking at or approaching something or someone, especially where your physical resources are concerned? Try opening up to the opposing view. Explore that opposite pole so that you can understand more clearly where you are and what's actually going on. You'll create more balance in your daily life as a result. With this wider understanding, you'll be able to accept and embrace change in a playful, creative way, knowing that it's a necessary and continual process of being. Chaos, worry and arguments only arise when you're being rigid and stuck in your ways, closed off in fear to the inevitability of change. Any wobbles and insecurities arising this month are temporary though, not long-lasting. So I would suggest you delay any dramatic course alterations or far-reaching decisions until mid-May. Things will have settled and be much clearer then, especially if you followed the advice of this guidance. Change, including that ushered in over the next 4 weeks, is life-enhancing and transformational. All will be well. And here's a look at the astrology for this lunar month. The Aries new moon on the 8th of April is accompanied by a total solar eclipse, which lends extra emphasis and momentum to endings and new beginnings. It's all about transformation. Explore the potentials present at this time to radically improve your life and the world you see around you. The past has to give way to the advancing future now. Jupiter moves through Taurus and conjuncts Uranus on the 21st of April, followed by a Scorpio full moon on the 24th in the UK. There are likely to be surprise crisis points now, leading to giant steps forward around individuals acknowledging themselves as part of a greater whole, such as the planet and the human collective. Mercury goes direct on the 25th of April, enabling rules and structures to form around these emerging new visions and ideals, possibly solidifying at the end of April. There will be challenges and struggles, as with all births, which are never pain-free, but the delivery of the new is assured and certain. So that's my guidance for the lunar new month. I send you my love and blessings and support for whatever changes may come your way over the next 4 weeks. And for now, I'll say goodbye. As ever, shine your light brightly. Never underestimate what that light can do for others. And live with joy. That's what we're here for. Goodbye for now.